Hi Leo, this is your forecast for the month of September 2017. If you have visited me before, I'd like to thank you for returning, and if you are new, welcome to my channel. This is a general reading for Leo Sun, Leo Rising, or Leo Moon. It might also be helpful for you to watch your rising and moon sign as well. You can join me on Facebook and Instagram for daily insights on tarot and astrology, as well as my pay-per-view channel, vimeo.com/thealchemistastrologer, where you can find on-demand pages with love, finance, and other readings. All right, Leo, so this first week, you have this great card. It's the Sun card. Now, for some of you, maybe it's you're getting sunshine this week. Some of you could be going on a vacation, but there's a focus on either children, authority figures, father figures, and mostly success. So this is a week where you're going to be looking at empowering yourself in some way. And it could be a week where some very lucky and prosperous developments take place. So your confidence is high, you feel a sense of optimism, and you want to achieve something. You want to have a sense of fulfillment. So you feel good about life right now. You feel, hopeful about the future. In fact, you may be focused on making decisions that have an impact on your long-range destiny. For some of you, this is a week that focuses on health, your energy, your sense of vitality, your vibrancy, your zest for life. So you are really putting forth a lot of effort in order to realize some kind of goal or ambition that you have. And it's likely that, again, this is going to be a week that's flooded with opportunities for you. But just know that with these opportunities, there are going to be more responsibilities. And so you have to be mindful of that, and you have to be ready for it. Because while you want to make some things happen, you may not necessarily realize all that comes with it. So this is a good week for you to have a bird's eye view about a situation. You're starting to understand life more. You're getting it, and you're able to look at your situation and know why it is occurring, and you know what your role is in the situation as well as other people. You see how it all connects, how it's all coming together, and what the purpose is, and what your purpose is in connection to others. So this is going to be a week where it's going to be easy for you to make those connections. You attract people who have an impact on your destiny, and they can influence a situation, and you can influence these people. So this is a time for you to share and receive. There could be some good news coming. And because you're feeling so good, you're at your most generous self, and you're being very objective. You're not judging others. You're not being harsh. And people feel that good energy, and they respond in kind. So even if you're dealing with challenging people, because you're drawing upon your greatest strengths, you're able to get along with them. And so this is a week where you can count on good things happening. Again, good news, good friends, good times, good connections, good information. Whatever you need seems to be at your disposal this week. Now, even if you're frustrated, if something is, you've been really working hard, practically to the point of burnout, there's still some kind of bright spot at the end of this tunnel. The sun is not going to come through without giving you some kind of reward. But make sure that you don't let your doubt overshadow that light, that reward. This is a time for you to believe in yourself, and you shouldn't be going out of your way just to make, an impression on others, especially the wrong people, or trying to save something that ultimately, doesn't work. It's bad for you. So because the sun, it's got a lot of warmth, it feels good, but the sun has a lot of power, a lot of energy, a lot of force, a lot of heat. And this card is also saying, be mindful of your temperament. This is not a time for you to be narcissistic or too self-oriented, or letting your temper get out of hand where you end up actually working against yourself. This is a week where, yes, lots of confidence, lots of optimism, but you should not be expecting too much, or you shouldn't be expecting things to happen too quickly. Try to avoid the tendency to push too hard. You've got a lot of goals this week, but it's not a week to step on toes in order to make something happen. And if you do, if you try too hard, again, you're going to peter out and burn yourself out. So this is about using your diplomacy, being friendly, and not letting that frustration get the better of you. This is a week of change, some kind of transformation. Some things may be ending for you, or you may be coming to the truth of something. But the bottom line is that your entree into any situation is by drawing upon your skills of diplomacy, being friendly, being courteous, and being hopeful. Now, the second week, you are dealing with some frustration. Maybe there's been some third-party interference in a situation, or again, maybe there was an ending. You parted your ways, you ended a relationship, there's been some kind of emotional disturbance that was frustrating to you. For some of you, your health has become an issue, and maybe, you're facing some type of surgery. For others of you, you're frustrated because, there was a focus perhaps on romance, and you feel, like perhaps some of you are involved in a love triangle, or some ugly secret came out. So this is a week about, cutting something perhaps, feeling irritable, feeling stressed out, especially if you were pushing too hard. Now, some of you, maybe you're dealing with heat and you're frustrated about the heat. Whatever it is, though, regardless, this again is a mental state, and the purpose of it is for you to come to terms with yourself. Remember, the sun gave you the energy to recognize the purpose of a situation and everybody's role in it. So this is a week where you get to come to terms with yourself and change some things and change the way you're looking at some things. It could be that maybe you're just not being rational, and that is threatening the goal that you want to meet. It's upending your personal agenda. It could be that, things were going well last week and now there's a break. You felt hopeful, you felt optimistic, but now there's been a breakdown in communication, or the negotiations went off rail. And so now you're like, having to deal with some kind of reality check. For some of you, maybe you're maintaining your optimism in spite of this negative situation because you're not really surprised by what's going on. Maybe it's something you've encountered before, some kind of bit of bad news. And you just don't let that, you don't let that block your progress. Even if it didn't go your way, you're just glad you know how things are going to play out. You're able to get your bearing on a situation, and now you can come up with a real course of action. But for some of you, you were riding high last week, and now you're frustrated because there's something that happened that was disappointing or surprising to you, because you were so hopeful about having it end up the way you wanted it to. You were vested in a particular outcome, a situation, or a person, And so because of what has played out, now it's very challenging for you to deal with the situation. You feel emotionally upset. It could be somebody burned you at the last minute. There was some kind of cancellation. But you have to be careful that you're not just self-sabotaging yourself. This is, again, another week to look at your goals and your aspirations and where you may have been unrealistic. You're looking at, where you may have been misappropriating your time, your talent, your energy, your money, and trying to come up with a shortcut, a scheme. You're not really dealing with the issue in a constructive way. You're not facing it head on, and ultimately those shortcuts lead you back to square one. So it could be that some kind of delay or disappointment or some loss that you have suffered is actually caused by another person or by over or underestimating a person or a situation and ending up, on the wrong side of the line. So this is about getting back on track and getting real about where you stand with the situation. Now, the third week, you're back in the saddle because you have the Magician card. Now, some of you, this is going to be contact with an important male figure, a son, a brother, a husband, a boyfriend, somebody that's got special knowledge, special skills, some area of expertise. Those of you who are dealing with a health issue, this may be some type of specialist that can help you. Or perhaps this is somebody connected to technology. Maybe you were frustrated with your business in some way, and so this person gives you a boost by offering their skills, their talents, their knowledge, their know-how. This again is another week of opportunities, especially if you're very self-oriented, very self-determined. Some of you could be focusing on making some decisions, and you'll be able to do that very quickly and with a lot of confidence, although this could be a week where you don't get it right on the first try. Could be some trial and error involved. But this is a week where, again, you are adapting to any change that was necessary, especially given the frustration you were dealing with last week. You may be focused on your business, being self-employed, or promoting yourself in some way. Maybe you're having to be innovative. You were dealing with a disturbing set of circumstances last week, and now you're having to be original. You're having to think outside of the box in order to make something happen. So this is about being very committed to the proper use of power, your power of manifestation. And it's all about helping yourself. So you have to be willing this week to apply your willpower constructively in order to get that reward that the Sun card promised you. And it's likely that if you were a little bit frustrated last week, again, you feel back in your power. You're not afraid to take a stand. And this week, maybe you get some kind of recognition. Maybe you get some kind of reward. And so part of the success is coming about because you're learning more about how to rely on yourself. And it could be that this week, you make so many leaps and bounds that you almost, you're not even sure if it's real or if it's going to last. Now, negatively, because you have last week's frustration, if this is lingering energy and you're not manipulating that Magician energy to your highest good, this could be a week where you're still impatient, you are angry, you are frustrated, and you start doing things that undermine your success. Or you just stop listening to people. You don't want to hear what their advice is, what suggestions they have. You don't even want their assistance anymore. For some of you, this is the choice you're going to make, and it could be that you're going to rely on yourself. You're breaking away from a situation and you just need some downtime. You need to, find some kind of sanctuary for yourself. You need to re-energize. You need to think some things over. You need to listen to your intuition in order to move forward. So again, you could have had, up and down success. Maybe you started off with a bang and then you hit a snag and now you're trying to regroup. Or perhaps there's been some interference in your happiness or your success. Or for some of you, you're dealing with a health issue. You're getting with a specialist, and others of you, you're trying to come up with a solution, perhaps a settlement of something. So again, relying on self is your key this week. Now, you end the month on a very positive and fortunate card. So you have lots of great cards in this reading. So this is about making some progress. Now, for some of you, this is tied to perhaps to a vacation, maybe a vacation where it's sunny, or whether you connect to like-minded people, some kind of gathering or social event. For others of you, this is about some endeavor you're involved with where you're trying to lay a solid foundation. You want to complete something. Maybe, you're trying to move house, or you're getting married, or you're moving in together, you're working on your home. For some of you, this is about your alliances, how much freedom you have, excitement about something. Whatever it is, this is a week where you're going to take the opportunity to either create a situation or further work on something to solidify it, where you feel you're establishing some sense of security and you're gaining some peace of mind. And the best way to do that is to create situations where you and other people win, where your progress moves other people along as well. So you're going to have some situations either at work, at home, or both that are going to allow you some unexpected opportunities to move forward in a good way that gives you a greater sense of confidence. So this is a week where you actually can take that magician power and use it to create whatever kind of ending to the storyline you wish, even if it involves some difficult people or some challenging situations. For some of you, if you were dealing with your frustrations, you're now going to get to know where you stand in a situation. What kind of progress are you making? And that's going to allow you to back up from something that wasn't working, or to tweak a situation to improve it so that you feel better about it. Now, some of you, if you're not using all of this great energy to your best, you may be stepping out of bounds. You may be saying things and not thinking about it and what the ramifications are. Or it could be that there's some frustration because maybe people are trying to please you, but it's not happening, or vice versa. So in spite of their best effort, nothing gets accomplished. So for those of you who are not taking this energy and using it well, you may have to rethink your security. You could be so involved in what you were trying to accomplish, so focused on a goal that you weren't paying attention to something that's coming out of left field. But for the most part, again, these are great cards. So this could be a week of celebration, getting some good news, somebody that can open some doors for you. Maybe you're doing some traveling. This is a great month for you. Now, the underlying energy is this Two of Wands. So you're doing a review of some things, and probably, to come up with a way to manifest the success you want, and, to create the outcome that you wish to see. So you could be going over your finances. Again, you could be traveling. You could be, just clearing your name in some way, or driving a point home, being understood, or getting an apology. There's probably a focus on business, being enterprising, negotiating, trying to extend your influence beyond, what it is at the present moment. So this is going to be a month where, again, it's important to be optimistic, but you also have to be realistic about situations. So you're going to have lots of opportunities this month to make some changes that you want to happen. And they're going to come, with other people's goodwill. They're going to be openings, things are going to be presented to you in goodwill, and you can take them if you like or not. And, if you decide not to, there won't be any hard feelings. But you are going to be looking at how attached you are to other people, to situations, to ideas, to concepts. And that may fluctuate. And, you may decide you want to remove yourself from a situation, and you will be able to do that with other people's blessings. But for some of you, you're not moving forward, and there's some frustration because you're grappling with doubt. You're letting that doubt overshadow your light. And probably because, things aren't flowing as quickly or as smoothly as you want them to. Maybe you're getting some pushback, or there's some resistance, or you feel like people aren't listening. They're not giving you the support that you want. And it's causing you to question your stand, and now you're indecisive and you don't quite know what to do. Now, that just leaves you more vulnerable for other people to claim your power and stake their claim in your territory to intimidate you or manipulate you. So this is about moving forward, and moving forward with confidence, but not impulsively so. This is about trusting your instincts about a situation, listening to your intuition, and combining that with, the practical knowledge that you have. So it's important for you to get to the truth of any situation. Know what the facts are before you fly off the handle and make some decisions or create some kind of disturbance. Again, speaking without forethought or acting impulsively, moving forward, trying to pushing boundaries, letting your frustration or your temper undercut your success. So this is not a month to operate on assumptions, but it is a month to take some type of action, to start something. And there could be issues where good timing is very important. The realization that you need to take the initiative. And again, this is centering on some kind of review. There's been a change in your plans, so you are evaluating your attachment, and you're looking at things in according to what you receive back in return, because it's motivated by your desire to lay a solid foundation for yourself. So you have these two majors. You have the Sun and the Magician. So it's being optimistic and believing in yourself about your own ability to produce, to make something happen. There is a lack of emotion, and maybe that's necessary. Maybe somebody's going, strictly with the logic. Logic rules the day. Or there is, somebody's being insensitive, or there's a lack of recognition somehow. And there's also, no grounding happening right now. Maybe somebody's being unrealistic, or it could simply be that you're trying to make progress and you're not moving as quickly as you want. Something is still unfolding. So all of the details haven't been worked out yet. Now, there's no lack of clarity here. You understand, again, the Sun says you're having a greater understanding of what's going on, what your purpose is. And there's a lot of drive, a lot of ambition. And if you put that together with your mental abilities to focus on the big picture, you can make some things happen. This is about, putting your plans in force with precision. But because there's not a lot of emotion, it can also be a very ruthless orientation. So you may want to act, but somehow something is delayed. There's some hesitation, and maybe it's over the options, over the choices. And perhaps somebody's really pushing to move something forward, and there's some frustration about that, as somebody's acting on their frustration in a ruthless way without considering other people's feelings. There could be some travel issues, or somebody's taking a crisis situation and they're using it for all it's worth as a stage for more drama. All right, Leo, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss anything. And of course, you can always book a personal reading at thealchemistastrologer.com.